All right, so get this AI that can actually see. And I'm not just talking about telling a cat from a cappuccino. This is next level stuff. GPT-4V, heard of it?
Absolutely. GPT-4V is a game changer, no doubt.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like AI just put on its first pair of glasses, right?
Yeah, it really feels like a turning point. Remember all of the hype around GPT-4? Everyone was excited about it, processing images. But GPT-4V, it's different.
Different how? Give me the details.
That's not just processing the images, it's actually understanding what it's seeing.
Okay, hold on. Back up a sec. How can we even say that AI understands anything, let alone images?
Well, think about it this way. The blog post you sent, it had that example of GPT-4V describing a photo of a man. And not just like, it's a man. It talked about his well-groomed beard, the details. That's different.
Well, yeah, I mean, the developing taste now, too. That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
But seriously, what's going on under the hood here?
It's a great question, and it gets to the heart of what makes this so groundbreaking. When AI can compose a poem based on an image, or figure out the price of a beer from a menu picture.
Wait, it did that, the beer thing.
It did, and that's not just pattern recognition anymore, right? That's context, humor, understanding how things relate in the real world.
Hold it, this is blowing my mind, but how does it even learn to see like that? Did they, like, show it every image on the internet?
It's a whole new category of AI. We used to talk about LLMs, large language models like GPT-3. GPT-4 is the poster child for the rise of large multimodal models, or LLMs.
Multimodal. So, like, it's juggling more than just text now. That's a mouthful.
Exactly. Images, text, that's just the start. Imagine AI processing audio, 3D data, all at the same time, like giving it all the senses to build a true understanding of the world.
Okay, now that sounds like we're heading into sci-fi territory.
You'd think so, but it's closer than you might imagine. Even Microsoft is calling this the dawn of LLMs in their research.
Yeah.
And they don't throw terms like dawn around lightly.
So this isn't just some cool AI party trick. This is like evolution in action.
Yeah.
But how close is it to really seeing like we do? We've got a million-year head start, evolutionarily speaking.
Right. It makes you realize how much we take our own vision for granted. In one of the videos, GPT-4V was shown a picture of a duck. Seems simple enough.
A duck? What's so hard about that?
For us, recognizing a duck is instant. We don't even think about it. But for AI, it's incredibly complex. We just do it. But teaching AI to do that, totally different ballgame.
Okay, that's true. It's like, how do you explain duckness to something that's never actually waddled around a pond?
Exactly. And that's where things get really wild. GPT-4V uses something called convolutional neural networks, CNNs for short. Basically, they break down images into patterns and features like we do subconsciously.
So it's like teaching a computer to see the matrix.
Yeah.
All those ones and zeros forming patterns.
It's a bit like that, but instead of green code raining down, imagine filters, detecting edges, textures, then whole objects.
So it's speed running through like years of visual learning. Whoa. But what about video? That seems way more complicated than a still image. It's not just what's in the picture, but what's happening.
Right. You're right. Video adds a whole other layer of complexity. Like that example you mentioned, the packing versus unpacking a box. You need context, right? A single image is like a snapshot, but a video is like a whole story.
Exactly. And that's where GPT-4V gets even more impressive. It uses those CNNs we talked about, but also something called recurrent neural networks, or RNNs. RNNs, those sound serious. Break it down for me.
Think of RNNs like the AI's memory. They allow it to remember previous information, which is crucial for understanding how actions unfold over time in a video.
So if it sees a box being opened in one frame, it remembers that when it sees the box being filled in the next.
Bingo! That's how it gets packing versus unpacking. This combo of CNNs and RNNs is huge for AI understanding the dynamic nature of video. Like, it's not just seeing the world, but getting how things change and interact.
My brain is officially fried. But seriously, this is mind-blowing. All this learning, though, that has to take a crazy amount of data, right? Are we talking about server farms the size of small countries here?
Server farms the size of small countries. Maybe not quite, but you're definitely not wrong. It takes a mountain of data.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Like, you can't just teach a computer to see with a handful of pictures, right?
You got it. We're talking billions of images and videos, all labeled and categorized. It's a truly Herculean effort, even for giants like, well, Google.
Okay, so Google, they're obviously all over this whole AI seeing thing, but what about everyone else? It's not exactly a level playing field if you need that much data to even get started.
Exactly, and that's where something like Google Cloud Vision and video APIs come in. Remember we talked about Microsoft and the dawn of LLMs? Yeah. Well, Google's not just watching the sunrise, they're handing out telescopes.
Okay, hold on, back up a sec. APIs, those are what? Shortcuts for other companies to tap into this AI power.
You got it. Think of it like this. These APIs give developers access to those pre-trained models, the ones Google already put through the ringer with all that data. Huge advantage, right?
Huge. So instead of needing your own supercomputer, you can basically borrow Google's brain for a bit.
Something like that. And the crazy part is it's really powerful stuff. You know, that video you sent, they had an example. Just send an image to this Cloud Vision API and bam, it tells you all about it. Objects, emotions, even text scribbled on a napkin in the background.
Wait, seriously, it can read a crumpled napkin. That's insane.
Right. Gives a whole new meaning to supervision.
No kidding. But here's the thing. If AI is getting this good at seeing the world, like really seeing it, what does that even mean for us, for the future? I don't know about you, but this whole thing has me thinking about the future big time. It's like we've been talking about AI understanding language for ages, but this is different.
It really is. It's like AI just learned a whole new language, right? The language of sight.
Exactly. And just like with any language, it's not just about recognizing the words, or the objects, I guess, in this case. It's about understanding the whole picture, the nuances.
Absolutely. The context, the emotions, all of it. That's what makes this so powerful. The possibilities are kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it.
No kidding. I mean, you mentioned healthcare earlier. Imagine AI helping doctors see things in scans, maybe even catching things early that they might have missed otherwise.
Exactly. Or think about, like, architecture, engineering. AI could analyze blueprints, point out flaws that wouldn't be obvious to the human eye. Could be huge for safety, efficiency, you name it.
It's amazing, but I have to admit, part of me also wonders, if AI can see the world this well, what happens when it starts seeing things that we don't?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Exciting and a little bit unnerving at the same time. I mean, imagine AI that can spot a tiny change in a satellite image, predicting a natural disaster before it even happens.
Right. Or an AI doctor that sees a pattern in your medical history that no human doctor would have ever picked up on. That's incredible.
Yeah. But there's the other side of that coin, right?
Exactly. What about AI being used to analyze our emotions, maybe even predict our behavior in ways that feel, I don't know, invasive? Like that whole Big Brother is watching you thing, except it's not even a person watching, it's an AI.
It makes you think, that's for sure. And it highlights why this whole conversation isn't just about how cool the technology is, but about how we use it responsibly. We have to be mindful of how we develop and use this stuff, make sure it's actually being used for good.
It's like we're being handed these incredibly powerful tools, but it's up to us to make sure we're building something good with them.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And that takes open discussion, being thoughtful about the implications, maybe even a little healthy skepticism along the way.
Well said. So, to everyone listening, next time you see something amazing, some cool image, a mind-blowing video, whatever, remember, AI might just be seeing it right alongside you. It's a whole new world of sight and understanding, and we're all just figuring it out as we go.